All right, so we're working on the World Traveler project here, which is you take a picture of a famous location. For this example, we've used Yellowstone, and we are going to put ourselves, hopefully, I'm going to use this Lego guy as an example, into the picture, but it has to be layered. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to merge this down to make it the background. And then I'm going to do a Control J just to make a copy of the background. And this is what I'm going to use to kind of cut myself out and put myself into the scene. So first thing I got to do is I got to cut the Lego person out. This would be you in real life, and we're going to use this quick selection tool. There's a magic wand one here, but we're going to use quick selection. You could also use the lassos for selecting, as you can see in the video, but the quick selection tool just works a little bit better. If you use the open and close bracket, you can make the brush bigger and smaller. And the nice thing about this Lego guy is he's going to be, or at least should be, pretty simple to do. I'm just going to need to zoom in a little, a couple spots. Make my brush a little smaller to get right here. Make sure I get the mouth. Got all the hair, looks good. A little bit of the collar right there. Now, if you pick an area you didn't want, if you hold the Alt key, see how it changes from plus to minus? So right there I can actually come in and make sure I do not select this area between his legs. Okay. I'm going to go back to the full screen. I'm going to press the Q tool. It shows me what I selected. So I'm just going to hit Q. It shows me what I'm got selected there. And I'm going to do a Control J. So I've just got now, if I turn this off, I just have my Lego guy selected. I'm actually going to move him in by holding the Control key and dropping him in here to this picture. And I'm going to actually want him kind of behind the buffalo, but I want him facing the other way. So I'm going to edit, and I am going to flip horizontally. Yes, I much prefer this. And I'm just going to have him standing kind of behind the buffalo. I'm going to make him a little smaller too with the free transform tool. Just hold shift. Just a wee bit. You know, buffaloes are kind of big. You just rotate them a little. I just want him like peeking out from behind this buffalo. But the problem with this is, maybe make him a little bigger. To do this, I actually need to put him below this layer. And I'm going to need to cut, you know, some of the area around where he is out of the buffalo layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag him down. And then on this layer, I'm going to reduce the opacity. I'm going to reduce it in a way that it's going to select out all the area where the Lego man's going to appear. I actually want to get rid of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the quick selection tool on this layer to make sure I keep the buffalo. I just want to get my placement of my Lego man. Oopsies. Oh. Exactly where I want him. So I'm going to want him so he's actually gigantic and popping above this buffalo. You know, you're going to want to go for some kind of scale here that works in real life. Obviously, he's a Lego person, so I don't have to worry as much about real life. Just going to drop him down there, and then I'm just going to grab the buffalo And I got two options here. I can cut out the area around the buffalo and erase it with the mask, or I cannot. But I'm going to take the quick select tool. I'm going to start selecting the area of the buffalo. I'm actually on the Lego man here, so I want to get back on the buffalo layer. I kind of got the buffalo. See how it's doing a nice job grabbing the buffalo there. Sure, I'll get the head. Okay. I didn't hit Q. You kind of see all the area here. If I turn off the Lego that I've got selected. I do want to make sure that this part right here is not selected. Like if I turn off the Q, I want to get rid of that. So just click again. And you can see what I grabbed. This area doesn't matter around here. What I'm actually going to do is in that area, I'm going to make what's called a mask. So what the mask does is it's going to cut out the area around the buffalo. You see how it's black? If I turn the opacity back up now, you can see that I am behind the buffalo. Now, if I have problems with this mask, which I want to go back, I didn't want to do that. If I have problems with that mask, I can actually now take a paintbrush of any variety, and as long as I'm painting it white, like I could make this hand go away if I didn't want the hand there. If I switch back to painting it black, I can make the hand appear, and vice versa. Another way to go about this would have been, instead of doing the quick select tool, would have been to bring my Lego guy in there, make a copy of the background, put a mask on it, invert the mask by doing Control I, so it's all black, and then I could actually paint out with a white brush what I wanted to keep. So this is another way to go about it. I would not recommend going this way. This is not the way I would go. And then, of course, when you want to bring it back in, you just come here and start getting them back in. This is, of course, a viable way to do things. What you want to do would be up to you. See that area like in here? It's a little rougher to do without that quick selection tool. But both are valid options for getting this done. I prefer using the quick selection tool, but this is the basic premise. You take a picture like this, seen from a famous location. You drop a picture of yourself in there, and then you have to integrate yourself into the picture behind something. So that is the object of this project. And when you're done, you would obviously save and upload.